So the idea that we proposed is called See Clearly, and it is basically a visualization tool in order to do an environmental impact assessment on the ocean plastic in the Mediterranean and see the impacts of the plastic pollution on and by the aquaculture farms. And so you'll see that there was a big team of us and from different universities around the globe. Most of us were from Utrecht University, which is here in the Netherlands. And I am a postdoctoral researcher at Utrecht University. And I'll show you an image with all of the team members at the end. So to start with, I'm actually just going to show you one of the deliverables of the hackathon. And there were 3 different things that we had to produce during the 2 days. And one of them was a video to explain our idea. And so this will give you a good idea of what we proposed.
Are you an aquaculture manager looking for a pollution-free location for your next farm? Or a decision maker assessing if aquaculture farms can pollute marine protected areas? Or are you simply looking for clean and safe fish to eat? Then See Clearly is a tool that can answer all of your questions. The particle trackers used the Blue Cloud to develop simulations and a web-based visualization to track pollutants in the ocean. You simply open the web page, click on the location of an aquaculture farm from the Blue Cloud database, and trajectories of harmful pollutants appear, which have traveled to or from this farm. So how did we produce these simulations? In a Jupyter notebook on the Blue Cloud, we combined an open access Lagrangian framework called ocean particles with ocean currents from seamounts and released virtual particles of one pollutant, microplastic, from one origin, the coasts or the aquaculture farms. With an extra €25,000, we will integrate other Blue Cloud data, including all pollutants and aquaculture farms, marine protected areas, and even winds and waves to simulate storms. With our probability analysis, we will generate a public, fair, compliant contamination risk map of the Mediterranean to share with stakeholders and educate the general public. Everyone has the same goal when it comes to aquaculture farming. Producers, consumers, and decision makers want to ensure safe, clean, marine-based foods. Let's See Clearly provide you the pollutant tracking you need.
Okay, so just to go through a little bit of, to summarize basically our idea, we wanted to come up with a what-if scenario that was focused on aquaculture farming, and we wanted to look at developing an environmental impact assessment tool to determine which locations had the lowest probability of plastic pollution reaching aquaculture cages, and also due to the wear and tear of the cages themselves and the release of particles into the ocean, whether these particles can actually reach marine protected areas, for example. And so the stakeholders or the end users of this tool would be aquaculture farm project managers themselves, so those who are actually looking at expanding and placing some cages in different locations, or even moving the current cages that they have into areas that have a lower risk of being in the pathways of plastic pollution. Then decision makers who do the marine spatial planning, for example, and also accreditation bodies, so those who decide whether a new business can be set up, for example. And then the general public, so this can be used for ocean literacy and to explain, the risks and where there are potentially areas that could have more risks or less risks. And so this is of interest to the general public, both when they use the environment, for example. So, if they're on the beach and they litter, basically, if this can reach an aquaculture farm, or even if it can reach from other ways, and this is the food that they are actually buying for consumption. So the Blue Cloud facilitated this entire process thanks to the fact that, well, Sarah already explained a little bit about the Blue Cloud and how the different tools that they provide and the data. And so we used the Copernicus Marine Services for the advective fields and also eModNet for the aquaculture cage locations. So this was all available on the platform provided by the Blue Cloud. And then we combined this with so our expertise is in Lagrangian particle tracking. So this is where you really trace a particle that's moving around the ocean and it can follow the different currents. And this is all open access. So this can really be used by anyone who would like to look for it. And I'm going to provide the link for the open access GitHub page afterwards. And all of this was combined, and then one of our team members who is at Florida State University, Olmo, he is in charge of this particle visualization tool that is available on the web, and I'm going to show you in a little bit what it looks like. But so this is basically where you can really see the particles moving on a very simple, easy to use software. And so moving from the actual hackathon and the fact that we then had 6 months in order to further develop the idea, we decided, well, we're going to take this the prize money from the hackathon, and we're going to further develop the idea by looking at all the aquaculture farms in the Mediterranean. So during the hackathon, we used one aquaculture farm in one location as a kind of pilot project, and now we would expand to the whole Mediterranean. We're also going to be doing a hacking trip in France next month. And so we're going to do some interviews with some of the stakeholders that could be interested. This is also linking with the European Commission Mission Starfish. They have an event in France, and we have been invited to present and to actually interact with the stakeholders there. And then we're going to organize an outreach event. And yeah, as I mentioned, we would like to further develop not just the model, but also the tool that you're going to see, so the visualization tool. And yeah, here you can see the name of the team member who was in charge of that. And in a second, I'm going to go to the website. And further, we would like to actually take this beyond aquaculture farms and plastic pollution, and we would like to convert this into a consultancy, so into a startup, and look at more pollutants than just plastic. So look at all the ocean pollutants that we can track and we can model. Then scale it up, so looking not just at the Mediterranean, but looking from local to global scales. And finally, having a service that is customizable for different clients, so different businesses that would like to use this service. And just to end off before I go to the website, I would like to thank all of the team members, because we were made up of early career ocean professionals. So this was really kind of a bottom-up type of project. And as I mentioned, there are everything is open access, so you can really find the you can click on these links, or I can share them in the chat, so that you can see both the particle viz and the ocean parcels. So this is the Lagrangian particle tracking and the visualization tool. And if you would like to contact us, here are our contact details. And finally, I would also like to really thank the Blue Cloud, because without this, we wouldn't have had the time to really think up of an innovative, applicable idea that that we could really do this link between our research and innovation. So now I'm going to move over to the actual tool itself. So I'm just going to stop sharing and then reshare. So just 1 second. Okay. So hopefully you can see my screen now again. And so this is what you just saw. Yeah, so I'm going to zoom in, for example, to the location that we had chosen. So here off the coast of Italy, and you can decide to do either backward or forward tracking. And so here you'll see the particles being released and moving with the currents. So you can change the color of the particles. You can change it from a dot to a line. You can make these smaller and bigger. And you can also increase the tail, for example, of these trajectories or reduce them so that you just see dots. So these are some of the functionalities that are currently being worked on by Onmo. And yeah, I mean, if I show you the forward, it might take a while to load. So maybe I can leave it there. But if you want to play around with it, then please do. You can, I can share the link in the chat and you can play around. But yes, that's all I wanted to share with you today. Thanks for listening.